Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back today with episode 11 of our Sengoku Dynasty Let's Play. Today I would like to go down and see if the iron production building that we got up actually does anything. If it doesn't, then we're going to go ahead and migrate that bell to try to make crafting the other one a little bit easier, because then we can put a wood storage right next to it and actually get the materials that we need. So we're going to keep going and try to get our dynasty level up where it's supposed to be for the next series of unlocks. Hopefully that'll happen tonight. If you learn anything useful, if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, let's go ahead and load in. Okay, so I did do some inventory shuffling at the end of last stream after we logged off. I also got some materials together in efforts to preempt our trip today. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of materials in here. We've got some extra tools just in case. So that's what we're looking at right now. What I would like to do is head down here, because this building's done, so I want to see if it's interactable in any way. If it's not, we're going to drag the Riverton Bell all the way up here, and then we're going to place it there and build a wood storage, because the materials for the wood storage are going to make it much easier to actually stock this thing with materials, because it takes a bastard lot of materials for that, and I really don't want to have to take an entire stream just gathering materials. So we're going to head on down there and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Should probably eat something before we go. Oh, I got no room for nothing. Yeah, I got two full stacks of sticks. The only thing I didn't bring was straw. That could be a problem. Well, we are going to be down on the river's edge, so it's not going to be a huge deal. We can always just gather. It's a nest. It is really pretty along the river, though. This game does have some absolutely gorgeous areas to it. It really does. It's hard to complain. Okay, that looks cool as shit. But what's it do? Furniture? No. No. I'm not thinking that it's going to take any furniture. Although it does look like it's mining. I'm wondering if right now it's just looks. It does look cool, though. The animations on it are awesome. I like the hammers with the metal spikes on the end. That's kind of cool. Busting up the rocks. I can dig it. And you got the water wheel powering the whole thing. This is kind of sweet. So, if we look in our jobs... Do we have anything for that? Tailor, tanning, sunken... Charcoal, hearth... No. Alright, so I'm going to assume that we can't do anything with it just yet. And we are going to move our bell. And we're going to take this thing and run like hell up the river and hope that we actually make it all the way to where we're going. So you really can't put the villages that close together. It still says that it's too close to its original location, and we are quite a ways away. Let's see when that disappears. I might place it and grab it again when it disappears, just so we... Oh, okay, so clear out here. We're going to go ahead and move it again. But we're going to leapfrog it like that. That way we don't lose a shit ton of progress. If we have to drop it, we don't have to run all the way back to the original spot. We only lose a little bit of progress. But I figure by moving the Riverton Bell, it's still going to be Riverton because it's still going to be on the river. But that will let us build a wood storage where we can grab a bunch of the logs that we have in storage already. And that will save us a massive amount of time for wood chopping for this project. because these projects are super intensive. Building in this area is prohibited. There we go. I'll grab it again. This feels like Grounded all over again to me. So Grounded had a mechanic where you could move things that you had built as well, which was super cool. But one of the known strategies for moving massive amounts of building materials fairly quickly, because you could only normally hold 4. You could hold 8 if you had the red ant armor. But beyond that, you basically had to use pallets to stack them up and put the pallet nearby where you were gathering, like halfway between your gathering point and your crafting point. So something that we had figured out fairly early on in the game is if you loaded up a pallet and then moved it, you could move it to where you were actually building. So you could take it down to where you were gathering, load it up, and then move it, quote-unquote, like we're doing right now, to where your build project was, set it down, and then use the stuff off of it, and then rinse and repeat. So that's kind of the same theory that we're using here, just in a different method, because we're trying to move the town bell itself. Ooh. And it definitely cuts back on the regret of misplacing a bell, because you can just move the bell. The downside is I don't know if you could move a bell if you already had other buildings up. And even if you could, you'd still have to go back for the other buildings. But in this particular case, all that we had done was place the bell for, hopefully, fast travel, which we found out after we had already placed the bell was not implemented yet. So, that kind of sucked, but at least we're not completely out, because we can cheese it this way. And we're going to have to place this soon. There we go. Now, I don't know if it takes durability off the hammer to do this or not. Frankly, I don't care. It's still worth it to not have to worry about quote-unquote dropping it, because if we get jumped by something and die, we don't have to run all the way back down to the south to grab it again. We've got it more or less close to wherever we happen to be. Although if we die, we're going all the way back to the village, so we'd still have to run out here, but it's better that than having to run the entire length again. Oh, they should have put a bridge here. Got a nice foundation for one. Although I imagine river rock probably isn't the most sturdiest of materials. The erosion underneath is probably absolutely atrocious. But short of, you know, going diving, there'd be no way to know until your bridge floated away. Okay. Oh yeah, we're well over halfway, so just a little bit further. We got this. The amount of time that we're going to save by placing this is totally going to be worth the effort. And we've actually had a relatively uneventful journey so far, which I am thankful for. And I sincerely hope that I didn't just screw us by saying that. Because my luck tends to run to the poor side of things. That's not entirely true. I don't always have terrible luck. I tend to not have luck. I tend to get exactly what I work for, which could be good or bad. Because, you know, sometimes you don't put in as much effort as maybe you should have, so it looks like bad luck, but really, the effort just wasn't there. But that's also why I tend to not do things like gamble. I figure if I gamble, and I do occasionally, but it's very, very rarely, and I do it based on the rule of I am spending X amount of money to have a good time tonight, as opposed to trying to win money. So I take some money, usually, you know, 20 bucks, 40 bucks, and when it's gone, it's gone. If you win, awesome. If you lose, then when it's gone, it's gone. And you had a good time on the money, which was what you set out to do. And that's that. And that's how I keep from going horrifically into debt or developing a gambling problem. Seriously, it's like once every 3 or 4 years that I bother to go gambling, so it's a very rare occurrence. Alright. So we should be able to hammer some of this out straight away just on the materials that we brought with us. Now I would also like to put one of those farming buildings up for, or farming crafts rather, up for, what am I saying? Straw making, so that we can have it make straw for us, because there's a bunch of grass over here that I would like to get started as straw, but I don't want to handcraft it all. One, we'll get more, we'll get double the output if we use that machine instead, and two, it will do it while we're building, which means it will save us a crap ton of time. We did not bring enough bamboo. Thankfully, we're in the northern climes of the map, which is where the bamboo tends to be, so it shouldn't be a huge deal to go and get some more. Yeah, just a little bit northwest of us. There should be some bamboo right over the... Alright, make sure that we're safe. There's some bamboo right there. Super close. We don't need a terrible lot, although I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of extra, just so that we have some in storage. Axe is going to break. I would like to put some extra in storage, though, for other projects, because we've been running low on it, and there's not really any by the main city, or by our main village. So, we might actually leave this here specifically for quick bamboo gathering. The wood storage, I mean. Because with this bamboo being this close, this is going to be a great place to gather bamboo rather than relying on the respawns up by the shrine maiden by our main village, because that's the only real bamboo that we have at all close to us. And this way we have some extra options. Alright, so that gives us a little over 2 stacks. That ought to be plenty. Let's do one more for good measure. There we go. Now we can get this wood storage done and then use it to build a general storage. Okay, the gobo's worth grabbing, because cooked gobo actually gives a decent amount of food. I'm not going to bother with the food storage or any houses or anything over here, because this is not going to be necessarily a permanent village. Although we may leave it set up, because it is pretty close to the mine over here. So between us being close to the bandit mine in our starter village, and this being close to the other mine, we should have more or less all of the iron that we really require, and we'll be relatively close for dumping off. So we may leave this up, but it'll never be a full-on village. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. Alright, so how about is it... Yeah, that's rough. Well, we got 53 of the stone already in there. So that's something. Let's get rid of these because they will probably disappear when the project's complete anyway, so we may as well get them to add to said project. Feel like it would be wasteful not to. And we only need a handful more. I feel a little sad that all of the stone that we gathered to specifically put back in storage is already gone, but that's alright. Now, I think we have enough sticks. Yep, I did bring enough sticks. Oh, yeah, we do need a general storage because I forgot about the iron involved in this. I did bring some planks. I don't know if I brought 100. Nope, I only brought 29. One plank short. Are you kidding me? Wait, wood storage is up. Why am I... well, we did that the hard way. We had wood storage up, didn't we? Yeah. We had planks and stuff in here. Oh, I guess we didn't have planks in here, but we do have logs aplenty. So let's take a couple of the logs out of here just to save us some time. Okay, so we need 1 log for that and 2 logs for the other one. Let's get rid of some of these premium logs because they will gum up things if you don't get rid of them through something easy like this. Okay. We've got 1 log left, so we can do one of these. That does sound like it could be fun. Well, I do know that we're coming towards the end of this, and I was going to put out an announcement to see if people want me to, because I had originally planned on going back to Medieval Dynasty after this, as we are nearing the end of what is available for this, what's currently out for this game. So I was going to see if people want me to go back to Medieval, or if they want me to do something different, and that might be an option. These are all the wrong type of plank, so that's fun. Does this still need planks? Because if it does, we can just cram them in here. Yes, it does. There we go. I was going to give them an option of going back to... Because originally we were hoping that they would be finished with the Oxbow map for Medieval, to do a Season 2 on Medieval. They're not finished with it, and it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime super soon. So I was going to give the option of going back to the Valley on that, or if somebody else had a different game that they wanted me to try. So keep an eye out for that post, because it will be coming out sometime in the next couple of days, because I would like to get answers before we are actually done. And there's 6, which puts us 1 over. Doop! It's actually done! Ta-da! With 1 log left over. Which I feel like we should just turn this into planks, because we already have some deciduous planks in there. We can use them for crafting tools at home, if nothing else. Alright, now I don't think that we have 5 free agents. If we look at our population, we've got 1, 2, 3. We have 3. So we can pull her off. That'll give us 4. So we still need 1 more. The forager's hut I want. We want grass incoming. Could pull off the hunter's hut. Or the sunken hearth. The woodworking we want because we just used all of our logs. The small well is important. We'll take the blacksmith off. Okay, so we took him off, and then we will take the drying rack off as well. Because we can always put them back on later. Mining station special, yep. So if we look at mining station special, how are we doing on that? Okay, so we can assign ourselves. We can take Sayuri, who currently doesn't have a job. And we can take... Who wasn't... There we go. That one. So is that all the jobs in the mining station? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mining stations covered. Both the watchtowers are covered. And that keeps us in for our... we still have our cooks. We still have our woodworking. And we've still got our forager. Yep, I think that'll do. So how much money do we have? That's going to put a dent in the money if we die to get home. Oh, we can change the season from here. Excellent. So let's eat some food first, because that's going to rot on us anyway. We'll save our game just in case things go belly up, as they've been known to. What do I think about RimWorld? You know, I honestly don't know how I feel about RimWorld. I think it's an interesting concept, but I really don't like the top-downs like that. There have been a couple of games that have come out that are in a similar vein that I can't really get behind them. I would rather my survivals be first person. Oh, maintenance, actually. Okay. Let's see if this puts us back in our own bed. Yes, it did! Fantastic! So we did get a sort of a fast travel. Alright, our egg's rotted, but that's okay. We expected that. So let's see for our jobs. Did anything complete? We knew the mining station... The mining station's going to be stuck for like a year. Neither of the watchtowers went either, though. And that's a bit of a problem. But in the interim, we can get some of these other small bridges ready to go, I suppose. I don't know who we're going to assign to them. That's actually a really good point. We should probably build a house and use it to combine some of these others and see if we can't find some more workers. How many more workers can we take on? 1. But if we take on 1 more worker, we will be able to actually assign said worker to the bridge, which will finish in a single season if we do one of the small bridges. As long as we don't do that large bridge. And we will be guaranteed to rank up at the next season change instead of having to wait until the watchtowers are complete. So I feel like that's not a bad idea. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to start grabbing from the bottom. Alright, we didn't check to see... So, it's been over 2 years now, and none of these trees have regrown yet. I'm a little worried that the trees aren't going to regrow. That's got me a little worried. Dynasty was 2 years, but spring was the end of year 2. So the things that we cut down on the very first day should have come back, and they did not. And that definitely has me worried. Hopefully they will come back in year 3, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Grab from the bottom, psych. It might just be attributed to early access. I'm a little worried, though, that's going to really put a damper on advanced games. There we go. So now we need to look in the single houses and see who is a male and who is a female that we can move into this house. Everybody's angry. Why is everybody angry? We're producing more meat than we're producing more food than we're eating. We've got plenty of beverages available. We've got plenty of heating available. I don't understand. What the hell is maintenance? And why is it so low? I don't understand why everybody is super angry all of a sudden. Alright. So let's go see about finding at least 1 more person so that we can put them on a small bridge. And progress that to Dynasty level 14. So, are you a new one? You might be. Refugee? Nope, you're Sayuri. Now, I did see somebody down on the beach here, though. Hello? Oh, that's Ya. I don't know what the hell he's doing down here. Alright, so the person that was down here is not this season. Are you one of ours too? Yep, you're Sai. So let's check over here. I'm hoping that we don't have to go all the way to the south to grab somebody. I'm hoping that we can snag one out of these locations here that are close. But we are not always the most lucky that way, so we shall see. There's a question mark, and it's by the bandit camp. We know that there's one up here. There it is. So this one respawned this season, so we didn't have to go super far. Okay. So you are a builder. That is fantastic. That is exactly what we needed. Put you in a small house by your lonesome. We'll get you upgraded later. So now we need to go back to town because my dumbass did not bring materials with us to build the small bridge. So let's go grab some materials and take them with us to build a small bridge. Of course I just put my bow away. Okay, so with those guys, don't aim for their center of mass. Aim slightly in front of them. Look down a little bit and aim slightly in front of them. I was getting in hits before he could hit me, whereas when we aimed for his center of mass, it didn't register until he was close enough to hit me back. So if you're going to melee those guys, aim slightly ahead of their forehead and look slightly down. Screw back. So that's something. Alright, I've dubbed this Piggy Mountain up here, because we almost always encounter multiple piggies while we're running around it. So we're going to stay a little low on Piggy Mountain and hope that we don't encounter anything untoward, because we don't have any inventory space to gather their materials. I wouldn't mind sleeping to try to pass some time. So we're going to have to do something to get these seasons to roll. Okay, so we know that we already built most of the bridges around Segi. That's the watchtower. So we're going to try and hit up some of these bridges here. Because this is a watchtower. This is a watchtower, and both of those are already being built. So we need to do something about, I think that's another watchtower. That's a large bridge, but I think this is a small bridge. If not, one of these has to be a small bridge. So I don't know that the large bridge will complete in a single day, but we know that the small bridges will. Is this a bandit or a merchant? Okay. Do you have anything I can steal? No? Alright. So we know that this is a large bridge. I'm pretty sure that's a watchtower. So I kind of want to hit this one up, which it looks like we're pointed straight at it. So I'm hoping that this one is a small bridge, as I believe we only have materials enough for a small bridge. We really don't even have enough for a small bridge, but we're really close. And there's some trees around here, so I think we can make it work. Please be a small bridge. Don't make me crazy. Oh, what are you? You are nothing. These look like farming fields, and I really wish I could harvest them. Plenty of grass. Yay, it is a small bridge. Now, can we get away with putting it on the other side? Yes, actually, I think we can. What's your problem? Another object is blocking placement. Okay, must be a road. So we should have enough. Yep, we've got enough to finish this. Now bringing home some extra logs probably isn't a bad idea, because we already used everything that we got for the season. Which is never good. Okay, so who was the one without the job? That was the new guy, Narashi. Congratulations, you are going to be building a bridge. Ta-da! Okay. So let's grab ourselves as many logs as we can, and then head home. We might fast track our way home. Oh, that's deciduous. I really don't want deciduous. I really want pine. I want coniferous. Because once we get up there, we can sleep, and that will pass the rest of the night at least, and hopefully get us that much closer to being able to change the season yet again. Because this, I'm hoping to get one more season change in before end of stream, so that we can get that rank 14 and see what unlocks. That's my ultimate goal here. So I'm going to sleep for that free 8 hours passage of time, So it did say before we left that we still had 2 days remaining before season change. I'm thinking it's going to say 1 now. So I think it counts for midnight. I'm not positive, but I think it counts for midnight. Alright, so that cost us 390 and some change. Pretty close to 400. But that's okay. Yep, 1 day till season change. And now I have the hiccups. I feel like it's a little bit easier to hunt during winter because there's not as much foliage for your arrow to get stuck in. Because your arrow won't pass through any of this crap. So you have to make sure that you know which direction that animal is going to run when you shoot it. And make sure, kind of like pool or billiards, depending on what country you're in, you have to make sure that your follow-up shot is going to have an open passage as well. It's not just about your current shot, but you have to pay attention for your second and possibly third as well. Okay, I don't see anybody. Wouldn't mind grabbing some eggs either. There's a guy. Well, if you're just going to stand there and look at me. See, he ran the opposite way of what I was expecting. So 2 shots usually makes him slow enough that you can easily chase him down with a spear. Alright, so when I hit him, he's going to run straight forward into those bushes, and we are probably going to lose him. So we're not even going to bother. We're going to get a better angle. Oh, or we could wait for his friend to come down. Wait, is that a piggy? That's a piggy. That's even better, because he's going to run straight at us. The prey animals are the harder hunts. Alright, now we figured out that if we aim slightly in front of him, we can hit him before he can hit us. And it looked like there was a second boar up on the hill, so we might be able to get another free boar. Wait. Was that my arrow? Did it show my arrow? Briefly? I thought it did, but I guess not. Now, I know that I saw another piggy up here. I just don't know where he wandered. Is that him or is that a rock? That might be a rock. Make sure that we weren't followed by a pig. And Skinner deer. So a little bit of free hunting never hurts anything. How are we doing on meat? So we got a little over a stack. A stack and a half. We got half a stack of fat. Fat's worth quite a bit of money. I've had better luck selling fat than I have even torches. One fat is not quite worth a torch. I think it's 16 versus 20. But you can collect it fairly easily and it's not going to use up all the grass in the area. And you get it while you get meat and fur as well, so it's not a bad use of resources for selling. The downside is it does go bad, so you have to sell it fairly quick. Like, we have several stacks of it in storage right now, and most of it's probably going to rot. Not really a big deal, though. Great. Our secondary bow didn't drop into its position. Well, we got hit once, but that wasn't that bad. That could have gone much worse. Yeah, our second bow should have dropped in for replacement. I don't know why it didn't. Not a huge deal. It could have been a huge deal, but it wasn't. We managed to make it work. Did I ever build? Yes, I did build a backup spear. So our very first spear finally broke. Our very first iron spear. Oh look, here's more stacked rocks. Huh. Up there where they can eat it. So I did read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, but that they will start in the top left and work their way over for foods to eat and things to burn for firewood. So, like, if we had meat up here, then they would eat the meat before they got to the gobo. So that's the reason that I have it staggered the way that I do. And definitely with your wood, pay attention to that so that they're not... so that they're burning your burnables instead of trying to burn, because I feel like probably letting them burn all that charcoal last season was a bad idea. But you don't want them burning your logs and planks instead of the firewood, which is why somebody brought it to everyone's attention. And we still can't make any medicines because we don't have access to the mine, so we can't make the jugs. Which is unfortunate, because we did have quite a few of the chrysanthemums available. I'm still really disappointed with how they handled that. Forgetting to put the unlocks in is annoying, but semi-understandable. But to assign the unlocks to somebody who leaves the valley, like, that's just poor planning. They knew he left the valley. They coded it that way. So why did they assign the unlocks to the dude that's not there? It's almost like the devs were trolling us. I would really like to know who was on that decision, because I feel like somebody just lost a job. Okay, are you just going to steal our shit through the wall? Is that what's going on? Alright, can we please ring the bell? Oh, come on. Can we sleep? We can sleep. So let's see if that will let us ring the bell. Please? Yes. Our happiness is still going down. What the hell? Whatever. They can be unhappy. So we should get a bridge built here. We got 2 dings, so maybe one of the, I guess 3 seasons for a watchtower? Let's see if we get back-to-back cutscenes. Oh, this is not the bridge cutscene. This is the watchtower cutscene. Okay. Neat. I can dig it. Greetings from Super Kami. We would love to hear your feedback. We are in the beginnings of early access. Please consider leaving a detailed feedback on the Steam's forums on our Discord so we can improve the game. Oh, I think... So now we have to go back to the temple. Way down here. And talk to him for probably our second bell. But I have a sneaking suspicion that we just hit the end of the story-based stuff. Let's go talk to him and see if that unlocked anything for us. So if you guys have any idea, I know I had planned to go back to Medieval Dynasty, and I still kind of do. I was hoping that the Oxbow would be out first. I was also hoping that there would be more to this game. But it is still early access. That's not a huge complaint. And if you think about it, we are on stream 11. We've got probably 2 more streams left in us, which will put us at 13, maybe 14, which is going to put me at about the 30-hour mark, which is $1 per hour, and that makes me perfectly happy with its current state, especially since I got it on sale, so it wasn't actually 30 for me. But once we finish this game, and I kind of want to get everybody's input before we finish this game, as to whether you want me to go back to Medieval Dynasty for a Season 2 in the Valley, since the Oxbow's not done yet, or if we want to possibly visit a different game. So if you have any recommendations for other games, or if you want me to go back to Medieval Dynasty, please, by all means, drop a comment, or in chat, I suppose, while we're still live. But if you're watching this after the fact, by all means, drop a comment. I may do a post asking the same question to everybody, and based on our responses, if we have several games available, I will put up a poll, and if everybody is, if people are overwhelmingly for Medieval Dynasty or something else, then we'll just go with that. But if there are several recommendations made, we'll put up a poll and see what people think as to where we go next. Because I'm thinking this is still early access, but we are pretty close to the end of what is currently available here. And I wouldn't mind going back to Medieval Dynasty. I just want to leave it up to everybody else. Because if you guys want to see a different game, that's perfectly fine too. The only reason that we're not going back to Season 1 of Medieval Dynasty is because it is still set. I can't change it. It's set to normal craft times because we did everything vanilla on Season 1. So a Season 2 would be the reduced crafting times and reduced building times. But I know Unknown Player was talking about possibly doing Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. I don't know anything about that, but that's possibly interesting. Or any other really survival-oriented or anything game. Other than I do not do competitive first-person shooters. So please don't recommend competitive first-person shooters. That's not... I'm too old for those. I would just make an ass of myself trying to play them. But otherwise, I'm game. Boat Village. Alright, let's talk to the abbot. Probably put our bow away so the guards don't get antsy. So that is a huge-ass well. I wonder if we can make one of those. It might be because there's a second well that we need to unlock. Oh, excuse me. I'm glad I hit the mute in time. Didn't want to sneeze in everybody's ear. Will you grant me another village bell? Okay, elite clothes. Old man mask, Rosinga hat, masterwork stuff, Mempo mask, monk clothes. That is very gracious of you. Humble thanks. Since this is going so well, how about a third bell? Have patience. Okay, so now it wants me to go to Dynasty level 21, which we knew was the next step. So let's see about potential building in our village structures. No, in our buildings. We unlocked the brewery, but not the paper maker. Okay, so that's fun. I'm worried with the brewery that we're going to run into the problem of... Okay, so there's a tavern there too? Oh, brewery versus tavern. Okay, so we can make a brewery, but not the tavern yet. I'm worried, though, that we are going to run into the issue of not being able to do the stuff that we need for the brewery to actually make stuff because of the lack of stoneware for pots and such. Forager's hut's good. Oh, that's all furniture, that's why. So, furniture, production buildings. We want to go to the smithy. And we can now make the Tataro, which means that steel is in our grasp. So we will definitely be experimenting with steel in next episode. Unfortunately, we've already gone over a little bit for this evening because I wanted to get here and finish that quest. But, so we're going to go ahead and stop here, and we will pick it up tomorrow with returning to the village to get steel going. So if you learned anything useful today, if you had a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, have a fantastic rest of your night, and we will see you next time. And remember, guys, to keep in mind, whether you want me to go back to Medieval Dynasty or have something else in mind, please don't be afraid to drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. So, thank you for watching, have a fantastic night, and we will catch you next time.